Okay, so earlier I talked about remakes and overpowered figures. Now, I suppose you're wondering what the hell is the definition of an overpowered figure? I can't believe I'm doing this. So, what do I say about this? Well, I guess I'll start off with the story behind her. This is 1,200 points if you filled all 4 bases. And you did not mishear. 1,200 points. This is an army all into itself, and it damn well earns the title. I mean, I don't know if this will work. This is one of the issues I've had over the years trying to even do this. Am I even... Well, maybe. Okay. Okay. It's... Okay, there we go. Yes, you're seeing that right. That is 20... Yeah, that is 22 on the base dial. With invulnerability. 22. 22. 21. 22. 20. Oh, and by the way, in case you weren't paying attention, 22, dual invulnerability. Dual. So that's +4 in range, -4 on damage. Just that base. Just this base. And that's not even covering its special abilities. Like, this thing... I guess I'll just start with the story real quick. So, when I first learned about this figure, I immediately got on the hunt. I knew it was going to be a convention exclusive. I knew there were going to be some out there. And I went to my local game shop, which I will not be name dropping. Well, 1, because it no longer exists, and 2, well, you'll find out here in a minute. I told the guy I wouldn't pay more than $150 for one. I gave him $75. 3 weeks later, after this guy vigorously searched, he said he got one for $75. Many years later, I found out these things were going for about $250. So, you can see how I'm, you can see what my speculations about this are. So, I managed to get one for $75. Do I feel bad about it? No. Because it's pure speculation. There's no proof or evidence to support that speculation, but I didn't know much about the guy. I only knew that the game shop was reputable. That's like a 17-inch wingspan, 12 inches tall. The tail's actually supposed to be curved around, but I actually like that it's stuck out like that. Heads move. Might help. The hand moves. And yeah, this figure takes forever to beat down. Let me go to its last click on the front base real quick. Yeah. Okay, sorry about... Okay, there it goes. That's the final click on the front base. 2 inch bound. 8 attack, 10 if it's range, 17 defense toughness, 4 clicks of damage. And if you hit it one more time, dead. I mean, the thing literally craps out Mage Spawn. It can mind control people. It can mind control other Titans. There was one game I actually mind controlled a Titan twice, and I sent him over into the corner because I really couldn't kill him at the time. That fight was epic. It can raise the dead. Any Mage Spawn it spawns. If they kill another figure, you can choose to have that figure come back and fight for you until end of turn. They get removed from the game afterwards. It can deal pushing damage. It can make people drop their relics. Its defense ability. It can move for free. It can move its whole freaking movement for free, but then it can't move again. It'll be frozen, but it can still attack. It counterattacks immediately when it's hit, and if that's not bad enough, which base is it? Oh look, you missed that base, it counterattacks. You hit that base, it counterattacks. And yes, the rules say immediately. So your figure doesn't even get a chance to actually do anything about it. It has an ability to where if you use Pierce or Crushing Blow on this thing, it has a chance to negate those abilities. So if you're hitting it for 4 and you smack her, there's a possibility your weapon just bounces off and you deal no damage to her whatsoever. It is the purest definition of overpowered and an army all into itself. And there are people on the internet who have figured out how to efficiently, without the Dragon Slayers, I'm gonna drop one of them in the group real quick. His name is Rap, figured out how to do this without the Dragon Slayers. Kill this thing. And it is a lengthy combo, but I believe he has one, or a friend of his has one, and they did it. They field tested it, and they did it. Because I can tell you right now, this thing is... I fielded this thing in one of our battles using our rules, and it decimated. This thing was not designed for house rules. Now, let me say that again. This thing was not designed for house rules. If you play with house rules, this thing is going to break them. Like, entirely. An example of one of our house rules is Flame Lightning, which is what she has on the base. We set it up to where it does its full damage to the target and the corresponding targets. We did this in order to keep our games, get our games to move faster, because we played with a lot of figures. And by a lot, I mean like 100 being the smallest per person. So, yeah, I fielded this thing and a couple Mage Spawn, and during a fight, it was more than just Mage Spawn. I fielded, like, some elves and stuff with it, but during the fight, this figure killed 60 of a friend of mine's best soldiers before he finally focused everything he had on it and brought it down. And when I said he focused, I meant he spent his 10 actions that he had on his turn to bring it down, ignoring everything else that this monstrosity summoned. And it was a glorious fight. This thing during that fight, this was my front line. Just this figure was my front line. And I wish I had video footage of that fight. Unfortunately, I don't. There was another fight, which, apologize for my language, fuck you, CVS. Yeah, fuck you guys. And the reason I say that is, I had a whole bunch of pictures of this fight. This other guy made a he made a Titan to counter this thing. That is what this beast did to our circle. People were afraid of it. And the fight that these two Titans had was not only epic, it lasted 2 straight days. And this single dial Titan that was made to kill this thing, I had pictures of it. The fight was just amazing. She almost died. Her side bases were dead after a few tries, and eventually he got the upper hand. It got the upper hand on her. So, like an evil person, because let's face it, if you're fielding this, then you are the bad guy. You are the definition of the bad guy. If you're fielding this, let me click through some of the bases, and I'll show you the stats while I continue this. I grabbed 4 of the venomous shadow dragons that I fielded that day. Yes, 4. I have 8 of them because I don't think that's unnecessary. I think that's actually downright evil. Oh, look at that. That's a few clicks on that base, and still freaking 20. With invulnerability. A few clicks on this base. $19 defense, 5. That's Terrify, if I remember correctly, and 22 still. Just the back base. Dual vulnerability and toughness. Yeah, this is the back base, and they have the front and back base alone have just as many clicks as the Hill Giants. And yes, all 4 defenses are like that throughout. Like, they share a similar thing on that. That is, its final click, 1, 7, 19 defense, toughness, magic immunity, 4 clicks of damage. Absolutely ridiculous. So, I bring these Shadow Dragons over, and I eventually do that. I focus everything I had on this Orc Behemoth, as we're going to call it, and it died. After that, it was a full retreat for my opponent, because he had nothing left. He could not stop it. He made the mistake of rushing me. Now, here's another example what I mean by this thing is not meant for house rules. One of our house rules that we were doing was any figure that got removed from the game because of ability, they just died and could be brought back. Now, her ability that brings things back from the dead, they're removed from the game after your turn for good reason. Now, he rushed an entire legion of feral bloodsuckers at me. So, yeah, by the time that legion was done, I had an army of feral bloodsuckers fighting for me. So we eventually came up with the conclusion that our house rules do not apply to this whatsoever. And I would highly recommend that if you're going to field this figure in a normal fight, and if your friends are unsure if they want to fight it, make the following proposal. Only use its base stats, because nobody in my circle wants to fight this damn thing. She runs around. She is pricey. She is pricey as all hell. Like, you're looking $250 to $350 easy for this figure right now in the box. Is she worth it? Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. I'm not even going to ponder that. If I didn't have this figure, would I pay that much? Probably. Most likely, yes. Its sculpt is just incredible. It is the biggest, meanest figure they ever made. And that's what they set out to, and they set out to make it the strongest, and that's what they did, and they accomplished that. It is an incredible sculpt. It is an incredible figure, and yeah, I would highly recommend it to anyone's army. So, even if you want to repaint it, honestly, I am fine with the paint job that it has. I think it's fantastic, but if you wanted to repaint it, I would say go for it. But yeah, even for a D&D campaign, you could use this thing as Tiamat, which I've seen various people on YouTube who have Dungeons & Dragons stuff. I've seen on their shelves this figure. I mean, just damn. But yeah, this is the purest definition of ultimate raw power and just a straight up middle finger to your opponents. This is the Apocalypse Dragon. Sorry about that noise.